Welcome to the show, everyone. This is going to be another great show, and I'm super excited about bringing on my first guest. We're going to sort of have a gold and silver 101 going on here.
Yep.
We're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. I have with me Lynette Zang. She's the owner and founder and CEO of ZANG Enterprises. Welcome back to the show. I know you were on one time, and I'm so excited about having you back and having you on a little bit longer. Listen up, everyone, because we're also going to do a little bit of a giveaway here. I want you to first off tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do, but why. You know, people need to understand they're going to be entrusting you. So let's talk a little bit about you.
Well, generally, Carol, this is my background, and I'm really happy to be here. So thank you for having me back.
Thank you.
But I've been preparing for this moment in time really my entire life. And so over the course of my life, I've been a banker, I've been a stockbroker, I've been in this industry, in the gold and silver industry, since 2002. But more important than any of that, and what drove me to this, was as a stockbroker, I was with Shearson in the 80s. And in 1987, I happened to stumble across what's called non-dollar denominated bonds, which are just bonds that are issued in different currencies, but you have to understand currencies and how they work. And back in the 80s, you could call the head of any trading desk and have a conversation with them. So that's what I did. So I was trained in currencies by the head of currency trading at Shearson, which was a pretty big deal.
It is a big deal.
But in that capacity, I started seeing these patterns of things that have happened 100% of the time, over 4,800 times, as currencies go through their life cycle. So just like humans, I mean, my granddaughter is 10, right? You're not going to look at her and think, oh, she's about to be 70. Just like you're not going to look at me and go, oh, she's about to be 70. She's 10 years old. So we've learned to recognize what it looks like when a human ages. It's the same thing with currencies. So you guys know all the chaos that's out there, all the inflation that's out there. That's why it's so important to understand sound money. Because how many times can you be lied to when you do not know the truth?
I totally agree with that. And today you said you really are looking to educate the public more than anything.
Always.
Always. And so we're also going to do a giveaway, because a lot of people are interested. A lot of people, and I think the one thing is they may not understand it. And I think that's where you come in. But we're going to open up the lines to the audience for a giveaway. Will you please tell them what you're going to do as a giveaway today?
Well, I'd first like to start with, I use the term sound money, and most people do not know what sound money is.
What is it?
Well, sound money is money that is above all governments and all central banks and cannot be inflated away. And the reason why they're above all governments and central banks, sound money is because gold and silver, physical gold and silver, are used in every single sector of the global economy. So it is universal money with the broadest base of functionality and the broadest base of demand. It doesn't need a government to say this is money. It's been money for thousands of years. And with the inflation that we're dealing with right now, it's critically important that you own sound money that can't be inflated away. So that's why at ZANG Enterprises, we're giving away a 1 ounce pure silver ZANG Enterprise round. But everybody or anybody that calls in, we've got a special gift that is pure, or is 90% silver anyway, to give you. So anybody that calls is going to get some sound money silver.
So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. And I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. And this is going to be sort of a, we're going to have some education here.
Absolutely. It's so critical because it goes back to that question. How many times can you be lied to when you don't know the truth? Mm-hmm. So there are no stupid questions, right? Because if you're thinking that.
For me, okay, thank God.
Because I really for all of us. You're not the only one. Maybe I know a lot about this area, but there are other areas for sure. But it's critically important, so
Okay,
yes.
so my first question that I wanted to ask is, is obviously we talked about what sound money is, but why? Why people really need to know what it is and how should they buy it? How do they buy it?
Okay, which question first?
Either
First,
one,
what-
or both.
what
You
it
can do
is,
it as
okay,
you want.
Cause it's actually in both cases really simple. Everybody has been experiencing this sticky inflation, right? What they don't understand is why is this inflation so sticky? Here's the problem. The central bank's task is to regulate the rate and speed of inflation. And they use interest rates to do that. They're not trying to eliminate inflation. They cause it. You wondered what this is? This is my money gun. I'm gonna play central banker right now.
Okay, that's fun.
Right?
That's really fun.
When they want to stimulate the economy, what they actually mean when they're saying is they want to create more inflation. So they drop interest rates down, more people borrow and spend, and this money is created from debt. That's the system that we're in right now, okay? When they want to slow the inflation down, they raise interest rates, and therefore fewer people borrow and spend. So that's the theory. But where are we right now? We have interest rates that are what, like 5.5%, and Fed Chair Powell does not want to lower rates because the inflation that they caused by doing this has proven to be so sticky. I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyway, and so he can't lower interest rates. But you have President Trump that is creating tariff inflation that wants those interest rates lowered to create even more inflation. I mean, you gotta stop and think about this. None of it makes any sense.
But we have to protect ourselves.
Exactly.
Okay, there you go, I said
That's
it,
it.
I learned something.
You did.
And here's the thing, first of all, also I have to say, the money gun, it spits out money. I just want you to know that. And if you are watching us on Facebook, you can go to Networking Arizona and watch us in here doing it live. It's really fun to do that. And you could see her spitting out money. It's pretty cool.
That's true.
So first of all, we're going to talk about how we can protect ourselves and what to do, because that's the first thing. But also understanding it is big. So we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. One person's going to win the big deal, and then the others somebody's going to win something. Anybody that calls in. So it's a 1 ounce ZANG Enterprise silver round, and that's 1 ounce of pure silver. It's a $40 value. That one person's going to win that, and then anybody else that calls in that gets on the list, at least you're gonna win a little something that's real silver. So our number here again is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. You can check her out on her website. It's Lynette Zang, Z-A-N-G, .com. She's rated with the Better Business Bureau. They do free consultations. Their phone number is 480-376-7456. And here's the thing, folks. I think this is with everything at this time. We need to be educated.
Absolutely.
And we need to understand how we're gonna protect ourselves, because no one else is gonna do it for you.
That's a fact. That's why you have to become, in a way, your own central banker. And I really do believe that most of my job is to translate financial noise into understandable language so that people can make educated choices that, oh my goodness, actually puts their best interest first.
I think that is the best thing that you've ever said, because to me, it's all about the understanding of it, but being able to understand it is different. When you say something, a lot of times someone will hear it, but they don't understand it,
Right.
and so it doesn't stick. right? They go, well,
Yes.
what did she just say, right? But you wanna do it where it's more understandable, and that's what you're gonna be doing.
100%.
We're gonna be doing that for the next few Wednesdays here.
Yes, I'm excited.
And I'm excited too. And here's the thing, folks, you can tell everybody that Lynette is gonna be on at 1 o'clock for the next few Wednesdays, and you can call in here. We're gonna be doing this giveaway. You're gonna learn about how to protect yourselves in this economy that we're in. Even if we're not, that you should always be protecting yourselves. So,
Absolutely.
again, you can call her direct at 480-376-7456, or call in here, get entered in to win this. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and I'm gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. You're gonna love it that you did it. We're still live in the room, so we're gonna still continue to talk in, because we're talking to Facebook land right now, okay? I wanna know, when you work with somebody, what does it look like when they sit down with you and just have that initial consultation with you? What does that look like?
Well, all of my strategy specialists are trained in the strategy that's based on those repeatable patterns of currency life cycles. So the first thing that we're gonna do is get to know you. What are your goals? What are your circumstances? What assets have you accumulated that you need to properly diversify and protect? It really starts with your goals. You have to put that first. And then, of course, your budget, but that's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna look like a conversation to get to know what works for you. We like to meet you where you are and then help you get to where you wanna go.
So, but is this, okay, I have to ask this. Is this like you are a financial advisor?
This is not a regulated industry, so though I once did indeed have my license, no, and that's why the education is so important. Because the reality is that each individual is going to either reap the rewards or suffer the consequences of any choices that they make. So it really is, and I'm also a database decision maker. So if you go on our YouTube channel, which very prolific on there, you have the links to all of my research material. And most of that material comes from what people consider to be credible sources, like the Federal Reserve or the International Monetary Fund.
Well, I say this, the reason why I asked that to you is because a lot of people need to diversify, and I don't know why they don't, but I think, and you could tell me probably better, there are a lot of people who are, let's say, financial advisors that don't understand this.
Correct.
So they don't even go there with their clients.
And additionally, I'll add to that, because that's true, they don't understand this, they don't understand how money is created and supported, which I think is a great tool to give people so they can check with their financial advisor to see if they actually know what's happening. And I was a stockbroker and I was a banker, but I also believe my research, because I know how deeply I dig into things, and I believe the technical data. I consider myself a technician, absolutely. I mean, I've been in these markets on some level forever.
Mm-hmm. So welcome back, everyone. We have our lines open here, and we're learning. We are right now doing a gold and silver, sort of a 101 for everybody out there. And we have our lines open here, and I'm gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show for everybody to get entered into win. It's a 1 ounce ZANG Enterprise silver round. That's 1 ounce of pure silver.
Yep.
It's a $40 value to you or anyone you know. And then if anyone else calls in, that's, obviously we're gonna have a lot of callers, somebody's gonna win something that is gonna be silver. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Check her out on the website, because I know everyone loves to do that. It's Lynette Zang, ZANG.com. By the way, they work globally, and
Mhm.
also, they're rated with the Better Business Bureau. They do free consultations. You can also call her direct at 480-376-7456, or call in here, get entered into win. You're gonna love it that you did that. And you're gonna learn. Right now, we're learning how to protect ourselves. We need to do that, and that's what you said. Now, one of the
Absolutely.
questions that I wanted to ask you too was, how do somebody, you talk about being our own banker. How do we do that?
It's really simple. You take the fiat money that our government gives you and you convert it into sound money. Now, gold is the primary currency metal, silver is the secondary currency metal. The most important function of silver for me, okay, is it maintains your ability to purchase the same goods and services over time. So for example, so that you see what I'm talking about, the Bureau of Labor Statistics publishes a list of foods, right, costs over time. So if you went back in 1913 and you looked at that basket of goods, and I just did this the other day, so May 5th or something like that, and that same exact basket of goods, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, went up about 2,600% during that period of time in terms of dollars. It's not really the product going up, it's really the dollar going down in value. That's really the truth. However, if you took the spot silver market, which actually doesn't really tell you the true value, but at any rate, we'll use it, that was up a little bit more than 3,000%. So it maintained your ability to buy the same goods and services over time. But spot gold was up over 13,000% during that same period of time. So not only did it maintain your ability to buy the same goods and services, but it expanded your ability to do that. And the sound money strategy that we execute at ZANG Enterprises, again, it's always got to start with your goals, but what you can do are essentially maintain your current standard of living, and we have a plan, and it's layered. It's not just to do this and good luck to you. We are with you for this whole time and even afterwards, but the plan is very layered. So wherever we are in the trend, you are prepared for it, including the opportunity to take advantage of what's coming. We do know what's happening in the real estate market, and Phoenix is one of the markets that is declining pretty sharply now, right? Well, guess what? It's gonna decline a whole lot more. How would you like to, number one, pay off your mortgage? Boom, just like that. That's one part of the sound money strategy. How would you like to buy that new apartment building that they're building out there? We see lots of construction around Phoenix, but these plans have been in the works for years when you're looking at it. If they've done it with a lot of debt, you're gonna have the opportunity to buy it for nothing.
Well, then, but you
Or
have to have a lot
25
of
ounces
them.
of
You have to
gold.
have a lot of them, right?
No.
No? So how many what does it take?
Well, that's a great question. Number one, you've got to know what the true value of an ounce of gold is. Because even though, as I said to you, that between 1913 and just recently, the spot gold market has gone up over 13,000%. That does not reflect the true fundamental value of an ounce of gold. And I think it is critically important for everybody and anybody to understand the true fundamental value of any choices that they're making. Because that is the only way for you to understand if something is undervalued, fairly valued, or overvalued.
So, thus, the consultation with you.
Correct.
And everybody has a different story, everybody has a different goal. But one thing that I think everybody should have, more people should have in common, is getting diversified, right?
Absolutely.
Buying some gold, buying some silver, right? And you could start right now by calling in here, because we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a 1 ounce ZANG Enterprise Silver Gold. That's a $40 value,
Right.
free to you. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. This is fun, and to learn about it, there are some people, especially women, women really.
Yeah.
So why is it obviously so important for women to really get this?
Honest to goodness, I think it's important for everybody to get this because it's a way for you to take your power back.
I like
Right?
that.
I mean, it's just true. And when I became a stockbroker in the 80s, only 3% of the stockbrokers were women at that time. And I didn't realize that I was a groundbreaker. I was just trying to support my babies because I was a single mother, right? And this was interesting to me. I'd been in banking, but I didn't make enough money in banking. That's why I got into stockbrokering. But additionally, it's critically important that we all have a sound money portfolio, because if everything is in tangible assets and the government doesn't like what you're doing or saying, then look what happened in Canada during the truckers' strike, which was a peaceful strike and absolutely legal, and they didn't like it, so they cut them off from all of their accounts. The physical gold and silver, we only do physical metals. That's it. No ETFs, no paper. Because truthfully, if you don't hold it, you don't own it.
I was just gonna say that, because I was thinking that as you were talking, it's a physical piece that you have, you have it. And I have to ask this before we go, because a lot of people, you're gonna see on television how, buy this gold, whatever,
Yeah.
and, they put their money into it, and then it's sitting somewhere, your gold is somewhere.
Maybe.
What do you thought? Explain
Unfortunately, a lot of times it's not actually sitting there.
Right.
Or it's in paper gold, which is not really relevant. Like a lot of the stockbrokers or financial consultants will tell you to buy ETFs like GLD. The problem is that as a diminishing asset, you have no access to the underlying gold, and they sell off parts of it to pay the daily fees. And so you can see that it is a diminishing asset. We only work with the physical because, again, if you don't hold it, you don't own it, but it's the right mix. Like, what is the cost for you to meet your current living expenses? Well, we're gonna tell you, how much silver do you need? How much have you accumulated in stocks and bonds and mutual funds, and what's in your 401k, what's in your IRA? We're gonna tell you how much gold you need to properly diversify that.
Well, our lines are open here, and I love this. I know you're coming back next week, so
I am.
at 1 o'clock we'll be able to have this again. Tell everybody about it. We've got our lines open here, that you're gonna learn about gold and silver, and you're gonna understand sound money. That's the biggest thing that you need to understand. And so we're gonna be keeping our lines open here for everyone to call in. It's a 1 ounce ZANG Enterprise Silver Round. That is 1 ounce of pure silver. It's a $40 value, free to you or anyone you know. And our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm gonna let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. Check her out. It's Lynette Zang, ZANG.com. They do free consultations. Go ahead and call them too at 480-376-7456, or call in here because you're lucky if you do.